Hey guys, welcome to the video. Salt here. Today we're going to be going over the Archwing, the Elytron. Let's head into our little cave here. We have the top commenter of the last video, the okayest player, the first commenter of the last video, XGN Nazaire, and our recent supporters of Nice Bear, Colonel 06, and Alfofo. Thank you so much for your support. And of course, we're doing the Elytron today. Let's go ahead and go down to the arsenal here. So just a little bit of a disclaimer before we go into the video, because maybe people don't want to, watch the whole thing. The Elytron is by far the worst Archwing out of all of the 4 different Archwings. In fact, it is so bad that if you find this as your main, if you've chosen to use the Elytron as your main Archwing, you are objectively a bad person and you should feel bad about yourself. So let's go ahead into the upgrade screen here. And before we go over the mods, I want to go over the abilities on the Elytron. Now, all of the abilities on the Elytron are actually active hindrances to your DPS. The only one that is not a hindrance, now it's still useless, but it's not a hindrance, would be the 2. But we're going to go over all of the abilities here. So we'll go over the 1 first, Bloomer. You're going to launch a projectile that can be manually detonated by repressing the ability key. This has a weak homing effect and will latch onto the target if it hits the target, or a piece of terrain if it hits a piece of terrain. Now, there's a few reasons why this is bad. The first thing is that it is bad damage. It has a pretty bad explosion range. You have to press the button twice to actually do the damage on it. So it doesn't take that many brain cells to press your 1 button twice. However, I feel like those 1 or 2 brain cells that are required to press the 1 button would be better allocated into just aiming slightly better with your arc gun and firing 1 extra bullet on target and probably doing the same damage as Bloomer. All right, the 2, Core Vent. You're going to release a trail behind you that neutralizes enemy missiles and some projectiles. So this is okay. It's kind of has a short duration is the unfortunate thing. And it's also not super useful. I mean, at least it doesn't act as an active hindrance to you. It's just not a super useful ability. Thumper. Create a barrage of explosions around the area. So you're going to fire this little missile. When the missile hits a piece of terrain or an enemy, it's going to kind of like paint an area for a missile barrage to come in. Now, on testing, I know you can at least put 2 areas down. I think it's actually 3, though. A lot of forums are saying you can do 3 areas of Thumper at a time, or you can like triple cast it into 1 area to have like 3 barrages going off at the same time. Now, the damage of these barrages are horrible. Again, probably 1 or 2 bullets out of a arc weapon will do about the same damage as an entire barrage. So the brain cells it takes to press your 3 button is just better allocated in aiming slightly better with your arc weapon. And the 4, Warhead, you're going to launch a missile that will explode. Now, the missile, when you fire it, it'll actually track your reticle, so you can kind of like guide it a bit as it's going. This does okay damage, but it pushes everything back a lot. And everyone knows the best way to do Archwing missions is to have enemies just randomly scattered above you, below you, to the left and to the right. No one wants to group enemies. No one wants to have enemies nicely grouped. That way you can make use of punch through and AoE. You want to have enemies scattered everywhere. And that's exactly what Warhead does. Okay, let's go over the mods that we have on the Elytron here. We're going to have enhanced durability for plus 100% health, argon plating for plus 100% armor, energy inversion for plus 100% shield capacity, superior defenses for plus 100% shield recharge, and minus 50% shield recharge delay. And you might be saying, hey Salt, you have 2 different survivability types on your Elytron. Isn't that a little bit overkill? You have health and armor and you have shield and recharge. And I would say, yeah, it is kind of overkill, but the Elytron is so bad and the abilities are so bad that there's really no point in trying to make them better. In fact, you might get tempted to try to make them better and want to actually press the buttons, and you're going to be losing DPS because of that. And so for that reason, I feel like the best way to build the Elytron is just to go all of the survivability mods You also go with Hyperion thrusters for plus flight speed, which is just nice on all of the Arcwings, honestly. And that leaves you with 3 mod slots. Now, these 3 mod slots, again, just to not tempt yourself, it's probably best to just leave them empty, honestly, because if you tempt yourself into pressing these buttons, you're probably just going to ruin your DPS. But let's role play. Let's try to role play as the Elytron to try to make these abilities slightly better. So we'll do system reroute for plus 55% ability efficiency. That way everything is cheaper to cast. We'll do primed morphic transformer. That way the 4 and the 3, which is our damage abilities, do more damage. The 1, just never press this button. Even if you're trying to roleplay as the Elytron, just never press the 1. The 3 is at least some passive damage, kind of. And the 4 is at least mediocre damage, although it scatters enemies all over the place. But just never press the 1, please. And then Energy Amplifier for plus 60% ability range, which affects the AoE on the Warhead and affects the Thumper AoE area. So that is how you build the Elytron there. Now, there is a little bit of like a roleplay build you can do with the Elytron. This is a little bit too roleplay for me, so I don't want to do this. But a way you can play the Elytron is by putting yourself up against a wall where you're facing the wall. That way your enemies have full access to backshot you. And they're going to be backshotting you over and over and over while you're facing this wall. And you'll trigger this mod here, Kinetic Diversion, which transfers damage to health to energy. And you'll be able to spam cast your 4 Warhead, which will do very bad damage, but probably after about 10 casts, it may kill basic Steel Path enemies. So that's an option on the Elytron there. I call it like the backshot maneuver. You know, you're receiving backshots and then you're going to be pushing them back with the Warhead there. Now, I'm not going to be going for that, like I said, so I just wanted to make you guys aware of that if you want to do full roleplay the Elytron. What we'll do now is we'll do a Steel Path Salacia. We're going to show off the Elytron. We'll show off the abilities and what they do. I really liked all of the Arcwings so far. It's just the Elytron. The Elytron was the real loser out of all of them.
Accept your death, and you may yet avoid it.
So before we start, again, the 1 is just a missile, and then you press the button again to explode it. The 2 is just a buff. The 3 is a missile, and when it hits an area, it's going to call for like an arty barrage in that area. It's kind of hard to see. And then the 4 is a big missile. That does a lot of damage and pushes enemies back. Well, a lot of damage as in about 5 bullets worth of damage. So, okay, let's go over here. So we got the first 2 enemies here. I want to show off the 1 and how much damage it does. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, the 1 guy died with 14, 15, 16. Okay, so the 1 guy took 14 missiles. The other guy took 16 missiles on the 1. All right, we'll show off the 3 next here. So we got 2 more enemies here. Well, let's fire the 3. We'll get that arty barrage going. All right, they're taking some passive damage there. They're still going. Now, I believe you can stack these arty barrages. So let me throw like another 2 of them here. And they should be ticking a little bit faster. They'll die eventually. Don't worry. Don't worry. Maybe we'll refresh one of them. Oh, we're out of energy here. There we go. Refresh another one of them. Oh, 1 guy died. 1 guy died. Oh, 2nd guy. Okay, okay. Let's move on. And we'll show the 4 off here on this group. So I'm going to fire this. And they go flying in random directions. This guy's up here. Let's fire it again. 2. He went flying somewhere. He's down there. 3. Oh, flew this way. Okay. 4 might kill him. Nope, he's still alive. 5. 6. 7. I think 7 will finish him. Yep, okay. 7 shots on the 4. All right, let's do the mission now. Let's combine everything together, what we've learned. Let me throw like 3 of these barrages to cover this area here. It will definitely kill everything that comes in that tunnel there. Definitely. I probably won't have to actually use a weapon. Throw a warhead. Another warhead. These guys got thrown behind me. You can't fire another 4 until it has reached its location and blown up. So you can't like spam cast it unless you perform the backshot maneuver. I'm going to perform the backshot maneuver right here. I see a bunch of enemies around me. I'm going to face a wall, allow them to backshot me, and I'm going to spam cast the 4 now. There we go. That's my patented backshot maneuver. Got some enemies coming here. I'm going to face the wall and give them backshots. Or receive backshots, I should say. Okay, let's go to the next location here. This is our second satellite. Got some enemies here. I'm going to find a wall to press myself up against and perform the backshot maneuver. Let's throw a few of the barrages in this little hallway here. There's 3 of them. Okay. We're getting kind of swarmed. I think it's time for backshots. Find a object or a wall, and here we go. We're going to do backshots. Oh my goodness, my 4 must be like out somewhere. It's got to blow up before I can do it again. I'm not able to perform the backshot maneuver right now. There we go. Okay, it just exploded. Let me do backshots here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my goodness, I got taken out. Okay, let's try it again. Let's try it again. There's too many enemies here.
I have the data. Move on to the next target.
All right, third satellite. All right, we're going to start getting swarmed by enemies. Let's get some arty barrages maybe over there. I think it's time for backshots. Oh, I have my 4 out. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Here we go. All right, the enemies have been pushed and scattered around me. That's what everyone wants. About to go down again, as is tradition. All right, let's do some backshots up here. Okay. Maybe some over here. And that's it. Now we can run to extract. before we go down, because as the Elytron, that's pretty much what you do. You go down a lot and you give a lot of back shots. Or take, I should say. Take a lot of back shots. So this was the fourth and final Arcwing that we're going over. There is technically 5 Arcwings, but one of them is a prime and a non-prime, so there's no reason to have like 2 videos for that one. 3 of the Arcwings are really good. The Itzel's really good. It's the quickest. The Odinata is really good. It has some defense and it has some offense capabilities. And the Amisha is really good. It has a crap load of defense capabilities and support capabilities. The Elytron, though, this is kind of the loser. This is kind of the loser here. So that's the Elytron. If you guys like the video, consider giving it a like. If you haven't subbed yet, consider subbing or tell me what I can do to earn your sub. And I hope you guys have an amazing day. All right, bye.